What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Real Hooks at Outdoors. We are back here today at my favorite little fishing pond in North Carolina. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do something I want to call the Battle of the Senkos. And basically we're going to fish a few different Senkos from different companies, and we're going to see kind of what works best based on durability, you know, how many bites we're getting, stuff like that. So these are all colors that are good in dirty water, but there are also some off-brand Senkos. Like, everybody likes to pick up a pack of Gary Yamamoto's, but I want to try some stuff that doesn't get used as often and just see how they work. So Big Bite is one for me that I don't normally use. This is their trick stick. It's in a black neon chartreuse. Then we have the Lunker Hunt Senkos, and these are like a green pumpkin with the chartreuse. We have the Googan baits, Lunker Logs, black and blue flake. And I know Googan baits are pretty popular, but I don't particularly fish them, so I'm going to try them out. And we have some Eek Dis Gear bass sticks in a fire pepper color, which I think is going to be a really good summer color. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start out with the Lunker Hunt because I like the color a lot. And stay tuned, guys. So we're going to do like a Nico rig, basically, but we're not going to do the worm weight on there. I'm just going to do it weightless, but I am going to use my wacky tool. And as you guys can see, I'm using my stupid ugly stick travel rod again. If you guys have seen one of my previous videos fishing here, you've seen me use it before. You've also seen me do a review on it. Possibly, if you haven't checked those videos out, go ahead and check them out. One thing that I have done a little bit differently is I've switched out the reel to an old Quantum reel that I have laying around, because they're a lot better than the ugly stick ones. So there we go. There we go. There we go. Come here, buddy. All right. All right, there's first fish, guys. He's not too big. He's got a little problem there with his gills, actually. It's kind of crazy. Little hole right in the gill. Fish are nice and dark. That's one for the Lunker Hunt. There he goes. Okay, after the first catch, I gotta say it's pretty unscathed. No tears in the Senko at all. Nothing like that. Seems like it's in pretty good shape. Of course, the wacky ring helps with that. But there are some Senkos like Yamamoto's. They're nice because they're really heavy. The issue with them, though, is they break apart really easy. And if you want to go through a lot of fish, you kind of have to have like a couple packs of them. And they're not cheap. So, trying to check out some alternatives here. If I can stay away from hook and branches. There we go, guys. There's another one. Oh, decent fish. All right. A little bit smaller. Okay, before we actually switch over, I just want to show you guys. It's actually pretty impressive. So we just caught two fish, nothing super big, but they were feisty little fish, which feisty little fish tend to tear up soft plastics. And this thing is unscathed. It's got a really good action in the water too. I don't know how well you guys can see it. I would be closer, but it's kind of a drop off down there. So we're gonna throw this in the pocket and we're gonna tie on our next one. Okay guys, our next Senko is gonna be the big bite baits. And like a black red flake with a chartreuse tip. Like I said, I'm trying to make it even, and I'm doing all colors that are good in stained water to dirty water, and this water is stained, so in theory all these colors should work here. What I will say immediately about this one is it's a lot wider than the Lunker Hunt one, so the plastic might not be the same quality, or maybe just not the same plastic in general. These are also a lot cheaper. Big Bite Baits is generally one of your more budget brands, but we'll see how it works. Okay, immediately I'm noticing that it's not sinking down quite as fast, which depending on what you're doing can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's actually taking a really long time and I want it to sink down faster right now. It's hot and I know the fish are going to be down a little bit deeper. Maybe not in the shade. So far it seems like they have been. There we go. Okay, that was quick. Okay, Big Bites caught the smallest fish of the day so far. Oh. Little guy. And let him go. Okay, so after the first fish, no tears. One thing I don't like about it though already is that it's taken longer to sink down. And that could also be a good thing though, so I'm not going to necessarily say that it's bad or it's worse than the Lunker Hunt for doing that, because in certain scenarios that's actually going to work out pretty nice for you. And it did catch a fish relatively quickly too, so let's go ahead and see if we can get one more on it before we swap over. And that was a really good spot right there. A lot of fish hanging on that point, but see, it's still like near the top of the water column right now. When I twitch it, it's still hanging up there. I don't know how much I like that for today. Yeah, it's not even sinking down. I really just have to sit here and wait for it. It looks really nice in the water though. It has a really good action when I twitch it. That red flake really shines very well. There's a lot of smaller fish following it right now. Nothing big enough to eat it. At least it's catching the attention of the fish, so that's good. Let's get it back out there in the shade. Come around here and then we'll do a cast along the bank, maybe a cast at the fountain. And something too, guys, that I like to do when I fish a wacky rig, which is like all the time because it works so good in like every scenario, is I twitch it to the side like this, almost like you would a jerkbait or a fluke, and it gets a different action. And I feel like I get more bites doing it that way. Let me know down in the comments if you guys ever do that, just out of curiosity. There we go, guys. Oh, he spit it. Okay, guys, that's gonna do it for the Big Bites. Haven't got a bite on it in a while. It only caught us one small fish, and we're in a pond with quite a few fish, and it's also a pond that has quite a few good sized fish, so I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. It didn't hold up quite as well as the Lunker Hunt though, so I'd say right now Lunker Hunt is king. And we are going to try out the Eek Dis Gear bass stick right now. These are hand poured by a company actually based out of North Carolina. Really good guys, Christian company. They make all their own stuff. This color is a fire pepper, and I just think it's going to be a good summer color. It'll also be a good stained water color, so we're going to give that a shot and see how it does. Alright, I'm just going to start out just kind of pitching it right in front of this brush. See if there's something hanging out over there. There is something hanging out over there. There we go. Oh, man. Okay, he spit it. Let's check it out, see if there's any damage. No, there's not. No damage at all. He only had it for a second. I think he just had the tail end of it. I think he just bit here. I don't think he had the hook. So, little guy, but we got bit on it once, so it's a good start. And this thing just glows in the water. I mean, it is bright. It's actually really cool. Really cool color. And to be honest, I don't know if they're still making the bass sticks. When I used to run my old YouTube channel, they were, and I used to buy them all the time. I really liked them. Oh, there's a fish, guys. Little guy came up and grabbed it. Okay, so that's one bite, one fish. Bigger fish than what the big baits got us on the Ichtus. Not a bad little fish. Okay, let's check out our Senko. Fully intact, no issues whatsoever. I don't see even a chew mark really, and the bass just engulfed it, so Ichtus is off to a good start. And I'm not being biased at all. I mean, I'm showing you guys, exactly what's going on. I do really like this company, but I'm trying not to be biased about it at all. I mean, if it fails, it fails. So there might be something about this color though that is just, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that was a bite per cast. The first 2 casts we got bit both times. Go out there a little bit deeper. And okay, and yeah, I can reach the bank with this Senko. It's a lot heavier than the big bites. It's probably about the same weight as the Lunker Hunt, actually. So there we go. That's a good fish. Oh, that's not a good fish. Never mind. I think he was in grass. Oh, tiny fish, actually. But he's already 2 fish above the big bites. So that's good. It's about the same size fish as the first big bite Senko got us. Little guy. There he goes. Okay, so that's 2 fish so far, but we've only had it tied on for a minute. I'm generally doing about 10 minutes per Senko right now. And we'll look at the quality real quick. I don't see a darn thing wrong with the Senko. It's still in really good shape. So we'll go ahead and toss it out there and try it again. Let's go off this point. Let that sink for a second. And this one is sinking a lot faster than the big bites. About the same speed as the Lunker. And I like to twitch my Senko like right when it hits the water. Unless the bite is super slow, then I'll just let it flutter down. So with the big bites not sinking down right away, I'm kind of just working in, like on top of the water, and I don't really like that. So this one seems to be doing good for what I like to do so far. It's got a good action. There we go. Alright guys, about the same size. These little pounders, but probably not even, but like I said, guys, these Eek Dis Gear Senkos are really good, and you can get them in some crazy colors that you can't really get other stuff in. And we'll go ahead and inspect it now that we caught our third fish, and I'd say that looks pretty darn good. There's not even like a tear at all in it. This one might even be holding up better than the Lunker Hunt. It's hard to tell, but that's 3 fish already. It's been a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and swap over to the last one, which is gonna be the Googan Baits Lunker Log, so stay tuned. If you guys don't have one of these wacky tools, I highly recommend getting them. They come in very handy. And just so you guys know what my setup is, I've already explained my travel rod to you, but I'm using a 12-pound fluoro. I think it's something cheap, like just Trilene Big Game. And then these wacky rings are from Academy Sports. You can buy like a 2-pack wacky tool thing already like on there. And then we are using the drop shot hook. I like to use the drop shot for a wacky rig as well, just personal preference. If I'm not using that, I'm usually using a mosquito hook from Owner. This is a black and blue, and in this shade I feel like it actually might work out pretty well. Once again, this is the Googan Baits Lunker Log. There we go, we got hit already. Small fish. Okay, looks like it's got a good action in the water. It's sinking fast, and actually this one looks like it flutters down really well. Like it actually shakes a lot when it's sinking. I know it's hard for you guys to see on camera, but it does look pretty good. I don't know, Googan Baits might have the best plastic quality and sink rate so far. It's definitely going to be a fight really between all three of Lunker and Ichtus and Googan Baits. And at the end of this little challenge, we're going to just kind of, I'm going to pick which one I like best, and I'm going to fish with it. We'll go around the pond with that one. Hung up in some grass. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a long cast with it, just see what the castability is like compared to the other ones. Okay, that was not my best cast, so I don't know if I can really count that one, but it did go pretty far for the cast I gave it, and it was a fish cast. This feels like a better fish compared to the last couple we've caught. Not a big one, but he does feel better. Yeah, okay, he's a little bit better than our other ones. He looks, oh, he's been caught before. I might have caught him before, actually. These fish are really pretty this time of year. They're nice and dark, and they get that like blue tint on them. So we'll go ahead and let this guy go. Oh, doing a little trick for us. All right, now let's check out the quality. So that's fish 1 on Googan Baits. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything wrong with it. One nice thing about the wacky tool though is it's made to really keep your Senkos intact. But I figured I don't want to have to be changing Senkos all the time throughout the day. You know, level playing field, and we'll just go ahead and do the wacky ring on all of them. And so far I'm liking the results with it. Getting pretty good hookup ratios for the most part. We missed a couple, they were just small ones though. So we'll see if we can get another one on the Googan. This corner is typically a hot spot right here where all these logs and stuff are. So, and there's that plastic pipe right out there that usually holds some fish too. There we go. Okay, little guy. Not very big fish today, but that's okay. Fish size Lunker Hunt has all of them beat so far. Okay, take a look at the plastic. Yeah, it looks pretty good. No tears. I think on durability, it's gonna definitely be a tie between Googan and Ichtus right now. Because I could see, like, if I remember right, I think I could see a couple little tears on the Lunker Hunt. Nothing crazy, but it also caught bigger fish. So, you know, you'd expect a bigger fish to tear your bait up just a little bit more. Some of those little ones can be really feisty and tear them up, especially if they don't get hooked and they just grab the end of your plastic. But there we go. There's another one, little guy. Man, he is cruising. Oh, he spit it. And our Senko came off. Okay, and you know what? Googan has a tear. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it is torn right there. Yep. Okay, Googan might have just lost our durability test, actually, so. And actually, it's about time that we were going to switch to the next one, which we don't have a next one, so I got to say, I think Googan might have just lost. And they make some pretty good stuff. I've actually really enjoyed using their stuff, but this is the only Senko to tear so far, and that was on a smaller fish. And it could technically have something to do with where I had my wacky ring, but we're going to let results speak for itself. So you guys tell me what you think. To be quite honest with you, I think that the Lunker Hunt or the Eek Dis Gear, it's kind of a tie between the two, and we'll just base it off of color. It's going to depend. I think Eek Dis Gear and Lunker Hunt, you know what, let's go with Lunker Hunt. I think Lunker Hunt won the challenge because it caught the bigger fish. Eek Dis Gear caught the most fish. Big by Baits only caught one. Googan caught two, but as you guys can see, it did tear. And for the price you're paying for your Senkos to tear, I would definitely go with something different. However, they're not terrible baits. I do